104 degrees at the Texas border in February. Let that sink in for a second, because what just happened in the last 24 hours across the United States is not normal, not even close. And what is about to happen over the next 7 to 10 days, it is going to be even more intense, even more widespread, even more dangerous for certain parts of this country. We are tracking a train of storms aimed directly at the heart of the United States. Snow, ice, severe thunderstorms, flooding. And yes, even the possibility of tornadoes. More than 70 cities are in the crosshairs right now, and I'm going to walk you through every single one of them, city by city, state by state, when the storms hit your area, when they peak at their most dangerous, and when they finally move out so you can breathe again. But here is the thing. If you are watching this from anywhere between Dallas and Detroit, between St. Louis and Boston, between Oklahoma City and Cleveland, you need to hear what I am about to tell you in the next 30 seconds, because the pattern shift that is setting up right now is not a quick hit. This is going to affect your daily life starting this weekend, your commute, your plans, your safety, and by Wednesday of next week, we could be looking at one of the most active severe weather outbreaks we have seen since last spring. I am not saying that to scare you. I am saying that because it is what the data is showing right now. Now, I am going to give you the full breakdown city by city, every timeline, every number you need. But first, stay with me until the 5-minute mark, because that is where I am going to reveal the exact corridor that the Storm Prediction Center is already flagging for the most dangerous weather next week. And I promise you, the cities on that list are going to surprise a lot of people. Some of those cities have not seen severe weather in months. They are not thinking about it. They are not prepared for it. And that is exactly why I need to get this information out right now. So let me take you back to what just happened, because understanding yesterday helps you understand what is coming tomorrow. Yesterday was absolute atmospheric chaos. Records that stood for decades just got shattered. In South Texas, near the border, thermometers hit 104 degrees Fahrenheit in February. Think about that. That is hotter than most July afternoons in Chicago. That is hotter than the average summer day in New York City. And it happened in the second month of the year. Meanwhile, at the exact same time up in Montana, wind gusts hit 102 miles per hour. No thunderstorm behind it, no tropical system driving it. Just raw, violent wind screaming across the plains like a Category 2 hurricane, 102 miles per hour without a single drop of rain. And here is what nobody tells you about that wind. 102 miles per hour is strong enough to peel the roof off a house. It is strong enough to flip a loaded semi-truck on its side like a toy. It is strong enough to turn a sheet of plywood into a deadly projectile flying through the air at highway speeds. And it happened without any of the usual warnings that most people associate with dangerous weather. No tornado siren going off, no hurricane watch on the screen, no dramatic radar image to show people, just wind, invisible, powerful, and absolutely terrifying if you were caught out in it. People in Montana know wind. They are used to it. But 102 miles per hour? That is a completely different animal. That is the kind of wind that makes you question whether your house is going to stay standing. And while all of that was happening, down in Alabama, a confirmed tornado touched down near Trussville. So let me paint this picture for you. You have got 104-degree heat in the south, hurricane-force winds in the north, and a tornado in between, all on the same day, all in February. The atmosphere is not just active right now, it is completely unhinged. And the energy from all of that chaos, it did not just vanish. That system is now sliding off the East Coast, but it is leaving behind enough atmospheric fuel to load the gun for what comes next. And what comes next is a 7 to 10-day stretch that is going to keep every single meteorologist in this country glued to their screens. So let us start with what is happening right now as you are watching this. A cold front is sliding down from Canada. And behind it, there is a block of Arctic air that has already dropped temperatures by 40 degrees Fahrenheit in Western Canada over the past 24 hours. 40 degrees in a single day. That cold air is now pouring into the northern United States. And at the same time, warm, humid air is surging northward from the Gulf of Mexico. Now, When you take extremely cold air from Canada and extremely warm air from the Gulf and you smash them together over the middle of the country, what do you get? You get chaos. You get snow in one city and severe thunderstorms 200 miles away. You get ice storms in the mountains and flooding in the valleys. You get the kind of week that makes March feel like it has a personality disorder, and that is exactly what we are looking at. This is the clash of air masses, cold versus warm, winter versus spring, and the battleground is going to stretch from the Dakotas to the Gulf Coast, from the Rockies to the Atlantic. So let me walk you through this day by day, city by city, starting with the very first event, Saturday morning. There is a sneaky snow band forming right now across the northern plains. And I call it sneaky because this thing is going to look like nothing on radar. It is going to be a narrow little ribbon of snow racing across the upper Midwest. But do not be fooled by its size. These narrow snow bands are the ones that catch people completely off guard. You check the forecast, it says 2 to 3 inches, and you think no big deal. Then you step outside, and there is half a foot on the ground because the band decided to park over your neighborhood for an extra hour. Here is who needs to pay attention first. Bismarck, North Dakota. The snow starts early Saturday morning around 7 a.m. Central Time. It is going to be moderate to heavy for about 3 to 4 hours. Peak snowfall rates between 9 and 11 a.m. You could see 3 to 4 inches by the time it moves out. But if this band stalls even slightly, you are looking at 5 to 6 inches. And here's the thing about Bismarck. The winds are going to be blowing 15 to 25 miles per hour behind this. So even 3 inches of snow with that kind of wind means reduced visibility. It means drifting. It means the roads are going to be a problem even before the plows can get out there. Aberdeen, South Dakota. Snow arrives around 8 a.m. Saturday, heaviest between 9 a.m. and noon, 3 to 5 inches expected. The Interstate 29 corridor is going to be impacted. If you are driving between Sioux Falls and Fargo on Saturday, add extra time. A lot of extra time. Sioux Falls, South Dakota. You are on the southern edge of this snow band, which means you might get 2 inches or you might get 5. It all depends on exactly where this band tracks. Either way, plan for it Saturday morning. Fargo, North Dakota. You are on the northern edge. Lighter totals for you, 2 to 3 inches. But the cold air behind this is the real story. Temperatures dropping into the single digits Saturday night. Wind chills below 0. If you have got outdoor plans, dress for it. Minneapolis and St. Paul. Here is where it gets really interesting. This snow band is going to pass just south of the Twin Cities, and I mean just south. You are right on the Razor S edge. If this band shifts 20 miles north, Minneapolis, you are looking at 4 to 6 inches Saturday afternoon. If it stays on its current track, you might only get an inch or 2. But here is what I want you to do. Plan for the worst case. Because these narrow bands are notorious for wobbling at the last minute. And nobody wants to be caught on Interstate 35 in a surprise 4-inch snowfall with no warning. The snow reaches Minneapolis by early afternoon Saturday, probably between noon and 1 p.m. Central Time. It is going to be a quick hitter, 2 to 4 hours of steady snow, then it moves east. Rochester, Minnesota. You are right in the bullseye, 3 to 4 inches Saturday afternoon, possibly more. This is going to be the heaviest snow along the Interstate 90 corridor in your area. Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Snow arrives Saturday afternoon around 2 to 3 p.m., 2 to 4 inches. La Crosse, Wisconsin. Similar timing, similar totals, 2 to 4 inches Saturday afternoon. Madison, Wisconsin. The snow reaches you later Saturday afternoon, probably around 3 to 4 p.m. You are looking at 1 to 3 inches, maybe a little more if the band holds together longer than expected. But Madison, your bigger issue might be the ice. As this system moves through, temperatures are going to be hovering right around the freezing mark. Some of that snow could mix with a little freezing drizzle. Watch for slick bridges and overpasses. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Late Saturday afternoon into the evening. 2 to 3 inches of snow, enough to cause some headaches on the freeways. And the cold air behind this is going to drop your temperatures into the upper teens by Sunday morning. Green Bay, Wisconsin. Snow Saturday evening. 2 to 3 inches. Nothing extraordinary. But when you combine it with gusty winds, it is enough to make the drive home tricky. Duluth, Minnesota. You are far enough north that you are in the cold air all weekend. Temperatures in the single digits. Some light snow Saturday, but lighter totals for you. 1 to 3 inches. It is the cold that is going to be your main story. Wind chills well below zero Saturday night. Now here is where this Clipper system does something interesting. After it pushes through the Midwest, it keeps racing east. And as it approaches the Great Lakes, it picks up just a little bit of extra moisture. Grand Rapids, Michigan. Snow late Saturday into early Sunday, 2 to 3 inches. Could be enhanced by Lake Michigan. That lake effect can turn a 2-inch forecast into a 4-inch reality. Traverse City, Michigan. Lake effect is going to be a bigger player here. 4 to 6 inches possible Saturday night through Sunday. If you are up in northern Michigan for the weekend, be ready. The roads between Traverse City and Mackinac could get dicey. Detroit, Michigan, lighter amounts, maybe an inch or two of snow Sunday morning, but the winds are going to be the story. Gusty northwest winds 20 to 30 miles per hour Sunday. Cold wind chills. Marquette, Michigan. Snow on top of more snow. Upper Michigan is in the firing line for multiple rounds over the next week. 6 to 10 inches total from various systems through next Wednesday. If you live in the Upper Peninsula, you know the drill. Stock up and stay patient. Now the snow band keeps moving east. And as it approaches the coast, something changes. The Atlantic moisture tries to feed into this system. And that means a heavier burst of snow is possible along the Interstate 95 corridor late Saturday night into Sunday morning. Boston. You remember that record-breaking snow you just got the other day? Guess what? More is on the way. The snow band arrives late Saturday night. Boston, you could see 1 to 2 inches falling very quickly. And I mean quickly. This is the kind of snow that drops half an inch in 20 minutes and turns the roads into an ice rink before the salt trucks even know what hit them. If you are driving on the Mass Pike or Interstate 93 late Saturday night, take it slow. Providence, Rhode Island, same timing. Late Saturday night, quick inch or two. Watch your footing Sunday morning. Sidewalks are going to be slippery. Hartford, Connecticut, lighter amounts, maybe a dusting to an inch, but enough to make bridges and overpasses treacherous. Just be aware. And up into New Hampshire and Vermont, you could see a quick 2 to 3 inches as this clips through. Concord, New Hampshire, 2 to 3 inches overnight Saturday. Manchester, New Hampshire, similar. Now, while the upper Midwest and New England are dealing with snow, something completely different is happening 1,500 miles to the south, Florida. There is a severe weather threat setting up for South Florida on Saturday afternoon, and it is targeting some very specific areas. Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach. Here is what is happening. A stalling front is draped across the southern tip of the peninsula. And when the sea breeze kicks in Saturday afternoon, it is going to collide with that front. And when those two forces crash into each other, storms are going to explode like fireworks on the 4th of July. Miami. Storms begin popping around 1 p.m. Saturday afternoon. This is going to ramp up fast. By 2 p.m., you could have full-blown thunderstorms with dangerous cloud-to-ground lightning strikes happening every few seconds. The peak activity window is between 2 and 5 p.m. Wind gusts above 60 miles per hour are possible. That is strong enough to snap tree limbs and send lawn furniture flying. And the rainfall rates are going to be absolutely insane. We are talking 2 to 3 inches per hour at times. Let me put that in perspective. That is the kind of rain where your windshield wipers on the highest setting are completely useless. You literally cannot see the car in front of you, let alone the road. If you are driving on Interstate 95 or the Palmetto Expressway when one of these cells hits, pull over. Find a gas station. Find a parking garage. Get off the road. Because hydroplaning at highway speed in that kind of downpour is how accidents happen. And with visibility near zero, the car behind you cannot see you either. Fort Lauderdale, same timing. 1 to 5 p.m. is your danger window. If you are on the beach, get off the beach when you see those clouds building to the west. Do not wait for the rain. Lightning can strike 10 miles ahead of a storm. If you can hear thunder, you are already in the danger zone. West Palm Beach. Here is where I have a specific concern. Spring training baseball is underway. The Astros and Nationals are playing in Palm Beach Saturday. That game is going to see delays, probably significant delays. If you have tickets, bring rain gear and be prepared to wait it out. And if you are going to Fuel Fest in West Palm Beach this weekend, you absolutely need a backup plan for shelter. These storms are not going to give you a lot of lead time. When they fire fast. 15 to 20 minutes from clear sky to full-blown thunderstorm. That is all the warning you get. Miami Beach. If you are on the sand Saturday afternoon, keep one eye on the sky at all times. When you see the clouds start to tower and darken to the west, that is your cue. Get to a substantial building, not a tent, not a pavilion, a building, Naples. You are on the Gulf side, so the timing is a little different. Storms could fire earlier for you, maybe around noon, as the sea breeze from both coasts converges over the peninsula. Fort Myers, same as Naples. Early to mid-afternoon storms, gully washers. Keep your sandbags handy if you live in a low-lying area. Key West, you are probably fine. The main action stays to the north, maybe a stray shower or two. Tampa, you are far enough north that this particular setup is not your main concern Saturday, but you have had some heavy rain already this week and more is coming. All right, now let us zoom out because everything I just told you about Saturday, that is just the warm-up. The main event starts Sunday and runs all the way through the following week. And this is where I need you to really lock in, because the next system that develops is going to impact tens of millions of people across more than 24 states. It is not a blizzard. It is not a single tornado outbreak. It is something almost worse. It is a multi-day, multi-hazard event that is going to throw snow, ice, severe storms, and flooding at different parts of the country in waves. And the mixed bag nature of it is what makes it so dangerous, because you cannot just prepare for one thing. You have to be ready for everything. Sunday, March 1st. Here is when it starts. A new area of low pressure begins developing across the Central Plains. Moisture from the Gulf of Mexico starts streaming northward, and cold air from that Canadian block I told you about is still sitting over the northern half of the country. When those two air masses meet, the precipitation starts. Kansas City, Missouri. Rain begins Sunday afternoon around 2 to 3 p.m. Moderate rain through the evening. By late Sunday night, temperatures start dropping and you could see some sleet mixing in. Might even see a brief change over to snow Monday morning before it transitions back to rain. Total precipitation around 1 inch liquid equivalent. Some slushy accumulation possible early Monday. Topeka, Kansas. Rain starts Sunday afternoon, heavier than Kansas City. You are closer to the moisture source. Could pick up 1 inch to 1.5 inches of rain by Monday morning. Some thunder, possible Sunday evening. Des Moines, Iowa. This is where the wintry side kicks in. Precipitation arrives Sunday evening, starts as rain. But as the cold air wraps around, you transition to a mix of sleet and freezing rain overnight Sunday into Monday. By Monday morning, you could have a glaze of ice on roads, bridges, and power lines. Then snow starts accumulating on top of that ice. 2 to 4 inches of snow possible Monday. Des Moines, this is going to be one of those mornings where you look outside and say, not today. If you can work from home Monday, do it. Omaha, Nebraska, you are on the western edge. Light snow possible Sunday night into Monday morning, 1 to 2 inches. Not a big deal for Omaha, you can handle this, but the cold is going to be the story. Highs only in the 20s Monday. Now, here is the big target of this system, the city that I think is going to get the worst of it from the winter side. St. Louis, Missouri. I said this earlier and I am going to say it again because it is that important. I think it is going to snow heavily in St. Louis Sunday night into Monday morning. And I am not talking about a dusting. I am not talking about a light coating. I am talking about a legitimate snowstorm. Here is why this city is sitting in the absolute sweet spot. The moisture is going to be at peak intensity right over the metro area. The temperatures are going to drop to just the right level for efficient snow production. The dynamics in the upper atmosphere are lining up to squeeze every last drop of moisture out of this system and dump it as snow right on top of St. Louis. You are looking at 4 to 6 inches of snow. The heaviest snow falls in a concentrated window between midnight Sunday and 6 a.m. Monday. That is 6 hours of steady, moderate to heavy snowfall. You are going to wake up Monday morning and the world outside is going to look completely different. Cars buried, streets covered, sidewalks gone. The Monday morning commute in St. Louis is going to be one of those mornings that makes the evening news. Interstate 70, Interstate 44, Interstate 64, Interstate 270, all of them are going to be a mess. The highway department is going to have their hands full. Give yourself an extra hour.
And I mean a full extra hour, not 10 minutes, because when 4 to 6 inches of snow falls overnight in a city that has not had significant snow in a while, the system is overwhelmed. The plows cannot keep up with that kind of rate. The salt trucks are playing catch-up, and the drivers who forgot how to drive in snow are going to be all over the road. Also, St. Louis, keep an eye on your roof if you have a flat roof or a low-pitch roof. 4 to 6 inches of wet March snow is heavy, really heavy, much heavier than January snow. A square foot of this stuff can weigh 5 to 6 pounds. Multiply that across a 2,000 square foot roof and you are looking at 10 to 12,000 pounds of snow sitting up there. That matters for older structures especially. Now let me talk about the areas around St. Louis because the impacts spread well beyond the city limits. The Illinois side, the Metro East, Belleville, Edwardsville, Alton, you are getting the same snow totals, 4 to 6 inches. And with the Mississippi River bridges being critical commute routes, those crossings are going to be slick and slow Monday morning. Jefferson City, Missouri, snow Sunday night, 3 to 4 inches. State government workers, plan your Monday accordingly. Columbia, Missouri, snow Sunday night into Monday, 3 to 4 inches. The University of Missouri campus is going to be a winter wonderland Monday morning. Interstate 70 between Columbia and St. Louis, about 120 miles, is going to be treacherous. Bring your patience. Springfield, Missouri, rain and snow mix Sunday night. 2 to 3 inches of snow possible by Monday. The Ozarks terrain is going to make road conditions even worse than the snow totals suggest. Steep hills plus a few inches of snow equals cars sliding everywhere. Columbia, Missouri, snow Sunday night into Monday, 3 to 4 inches. The Interstate 70 corridor between Columbia and St. Louis is going to be treacherous Monday morning. Springfield, Illinois, rain transitions to a wintry mix Monday morning. Slushy roads, maybe an inch or two of accumulation, enough to slow down the commute. Peoria, Illinois, more snow for you, 3 to 5 inches. Monday morning is going to require patience and four-wheel drive. Chicago, Illinois. You are on the northern edge of this system. Light snow is possible Monday, maybe an inch or two. Not a blockbuster by Chicago standards. But here is the thing. If this system wobbles just a little bit north Chicago, you could be looking at 3 to 4 inches. And we know what that does to the Kennedy and the Eisenhower during rush hour. Stay flexible. Indianapolis, Indiana. Rain changes to snow Monday morning, 2 to 3 inches. Bridge overpasses freeze first. The Indianapolis Beltway is going to need attention. Louisville, Kentucky. Here is where it gets really messy. The storm reaches Louisville Monday morning, and you are sitting right on the rain-snow line. This means you could see snow, then sleet, then freezing rain, then regular rain, all within a few hours. Louisville, your biggest threat is ice. Even a quarter-inch of ice on power lines can bring them down. Even a thin glaze on the road surface can make driving impossible. Keep your phones charged. Know where your flashlights are. Louisville, freezing rain is most likely between 4 a.m. and 10 a.m. Monday. Cincinnati, Ohio, very similar to Louisville. Monday morning is going to be a mess. Mix of snow and ice early, 2 to 3 inches of snow before it transitions. The Monday morning commute across the river from northern Kentucky into Ohio is going to test everyone's patience and driving skills. Nashville, Tennessee. I know some of you have been losing sleep over this one. Am I getting an ice storm? The answer is no. Nashville, you are south enough that this stays rain for you, heavy rain at times, some thunder, but the freezing line stays to your north. Your issue is going to be flooding. 2 to 3 inches of rain. Watch the low-lying areas along the Cumberland River. Now the Appalachian chain. This is where I get really concerned. When this system pushes east, cold air gets trapped in the mountain valleys of West Virginia, and western Pennsylvania. And when warm, moist air rides over that trapped cold air, you get freezing rain. And freezing rain in the mountains is a nightmare. Huntington, West Virginia. Monday into Tuesday. Freezing rain likely. This could be a significant ice event. 1/4 to 1/2 inch of ice accumulation possible. That is enough to bring down trees and power lines. If you have a generator, make sure it has fuel. Charleston, West Virginia. Same timing, same concern. Freezing rain Monday night into Tuesday. Roads could become impassable in the higher elevations. Roanoke, Virginia. You are on the edge. Could go either way between cold rain and freezing rain. If temperatures drop just 2 or 3 degrees colder than the current forecast, you are in trouble. Staunton, Virginia. Freezing rain possible Tuesday morning. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Snow and ice mix Monday evening into Tuesday morning. 2 to 4 inches of snow with some ice mixed in, a messy combination. Altoona, Pennsylvania. 3 to 5 inches of snow. Higher elevations mean colder temperatures and more snow. State College, Pennsylvania. Same deal. 3 to 5 inches of pure snow. If you like snow, you win this round. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Lighter amounts. 1 to 2 inches of snow. Maybe a glaze of ice. Scranton, Pennsylvania, 2 to 4 inches of snow Tuesday. The Interstate 81 corridor is going to need attention now. Here is the twist. As this system crosses the Appalachians, it loses a lot of its energy. The snow totals drop east of the mountains, but the atmospheric energy does not disappear. It regroups. And by Tuesday, a new area of low pressure starts developing along the coast, the Northeast. Round 2, Boston. You just got record-breaking snow. And now another round arrives Tuesday afternoon, starts as snow. 2 to 3 inches possible, then it transitions to rain, heavy rain. And here is why that matters. You have got all that fresh snow on the ground from the last storm. Now warm rain is falling on top of it. That is a recipe for urban flooding, ice dams on roofs, and water in basements. Boston, check your gutters and downspouts before Tuesday. Make sure water has somewhere to go. Providence, Rhode Island. Snow, Tuesday afternoon changing to rain Tuesday night. 2 inches of snow, then 1 to 2 inches of rain. New York City, mostly rain. Heavy at times Tuesday night into Wednesday. 1.5 inches to 2 inches of rain. The subway is going to have its usual flooding issues. Low-lying areas in Queens and Brooklyn, watch out. Long Island, heavy rain Tuesday night. Coastal flooding is possible during high tide cycles. Newark, New Jersey. Rain, 1 to 2 inches. Nothing unusual, but enough to cause slowdowns on the New Jersey Turnpike. Albany, New York. Further north and colder. More snow for you. 4 to 6 inches Tuesday into Wednesday before a changeover to a mix. Albany, you are going to earn your winter reputation this week. Syracuse, New York, 3 to 5 inches of snow. Then a wintry mix. Lake effect could bump those totals higher east of the city. Buffalo, New York. Lake effect is the wild card here. 3 to 5 inches from the main system, but lake effect could add another 2 to 4 on top of that. Burlington, Vermont. This could be the jackpot for snow lovers in the Northeast. 6 to 8 inches Tuesday into Wednesday. Maybe more if the track is favorable. Heavy, wet March snow. Great for snowman building. Terrible for power lines. Manchester, New Hampshire. 4 to 6 inches of snow, then ice, then rain. It is going to be a full menu of precipitation types. Portland, Maine. Heavy snow first, 5 to 7 inches, then a slow transition to a mix. Augusta, Maine. 6 to 9 inches of snow. You stay colder longer, so you keep the snow longer. Bangor, Maine. Similar to Augusta. Heavy snow could see 6 to 8 inches. All right, now I promised you that the 5-minute mark would deliver something big. And here it is, everything I just described, the snow, the ice, the rain across the Midwest and the Northeast, that is not even the most dangerous part of this pattern. The most dangerous part is what is brewing for the southern plains starting Wednesday, March 4th. The Storm Prediction Center has already issued a rare day 6 slight risk for severe weather. They almost never flag things this early unless the signal in the data is screaming at them. And right now, it is screaming. Here is the setup. A powerful trough digs into the southern and central high plains. It brings a mid-level jet stream with it. That jet stream is like an atmospheric superhighway of energy racing along at 50,000 feet above the ground. At the surface, a sharp, cold front drives into the southern plains from the northwest. And ahead of that front, warm, moist Gulf air with dew points in the 60s surges northward. When the cold air crashes into that warm, humid air, the atmosphere becomes explosive. The ingredients line up for large hail, damaging straight-line winds, and yes, tornadoes. The target zone, Central Texas northward through Oklahoma, Dallas, Fort Worth. You are in the middle of this. Storm initiation is expected Wednesday afternoon, probably around 3 to 4 p.m. Central Time across central and western Texas. By 6 to 8 p.m., the storm line pushes through the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Oklahoma City, your window is Wednesday evening between 7 p.m. and midnight. Norman, same time frame, right in the heart of Tornado Alley. Waco, Texas. Storms arrive late Wednesday afternoon, 4 to 6 p.m. Strong to severe storms likely. Temple, Texas. Same as Waco. Late afternoon into the evening, Austin, Texas. Wednesday evening, probably between 5 and 9 p.m. Some of these storms could be supercells, which are the rotating thunderstorms most likely to produce tornadoes. San Antonio, Texas. Late afternoon into the evening Wednesday. You are on the southern edge of the main threat, but still in play.
Houston, Texas, the main severe threat stays to your north and west, but you could still see strong storms late Wednesday night into early Thursday morning. Tulsa, Oklahoma, later Wednesday night. Your window is between 9 p.m. and 1 a.m. Thursday. And here's what keeps me up at night about this system. Literally, nighttime tornadoes. Storms that hit after dark are statistically the deadliest kind of tornadoes. And the reason is simple. People are asleep, the television is off, the phone is on the nightstand face down, and you cannot see what is coming. During the day, storm chasers spot tornadoes. Neighbors look out the window and see the funnel. You can see the sky turn green. You can feel the pressure drop. But at night, the first warning for a lot of people is the sound. And by the time you hear a tornado, it might already be on top of you. That is why this particular setup concerns me so much. The timing could not be worse. Peak storm energy Wednesday evening through the overnight hours in Texas and Oklahoma. The most populated areas along this corridor are going to be in the bullseye during the hours when people are least prepared. So let me be as clear as I possibly can about this. If you are anywhere in Texas or Oklahoma, please take 5 minutes today to do the following things. First, make sure your weather alerts are turned on for your phone. Not just turned on, but make sure the sound is turned up. Make sure Do Not Disturb mode will not silence a tornado warning. Second, identify your safe room right now, not during the storm, now. Interior room, lowest floor, away from windows. A bathroom is ideal because the plumbing in the walls adds structural support. A closet under a staircase works too. Third, have shoes next to your bed Wednesday night. If you have to take shelter in the middle of the night, there could be broken glass and debris. You do not want to be running barefoot. Fourth, if you live in a mobile home or a manufactured home, have a plan to get to a sturdier structure. Know which neighbor has a brick house. Know where the nearest community shelter is. Make that plan now, because at 2 a.m. with a tornado warning blaring on your phone is not the time to figure it out. Amarillo, Texas. Storms possible as early as 2 p.m. Wednesday. You are further west, so you get the first action. Lubbock, Texas. Same as Amarillo. Wednesday afternoon. Abilene, Texas, late afternoon into the evening. Shreveport, Louisiana. Storms possible late Wednesday into Thursday morning as the line pushes east. Little Rock, Arkansas. Thursday morning. The severe weather threat shifts east overnight. Now here is the part that really keeps meteorologists concerned. This is not a one-and-done event. The system stalls. And when it stalls, wave after wave of storms roll over the same areas. From March 4th through roughly March 10th, we could see multiple rounds of severe weather. The corridor stretches from Texas through Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, and up into the Ohio Valley. And with each round comes more rain, which brings us to the other monster threat from this system. And honestly, when the history books are written on this weather event, flooding might end up being the biggest story of all. I know flooding does not get the same dramatic headlines as tornadoes. I know it does not make for the same jaw-dropping video that a supercell thunderstorm does, but here is a fact that most people do not realize. Flooding kills more people in the United States every single year than tornadoes, hurricanes, and lightning combined. It is the #1 weather-related killer in this country, and the reason is simple. People underestimate it. They see 6 inches of water flowing across a road and they think their truck can handle it. They see a creek rising and they figure it will stop before it reaches their property. They hear a flash flood warning on their phone and they assume it is for someone else's neighborhood. But here is the reality. 6 inches of fast-moving water is enough to knock a grown adult off their feet. 12 inches will float a standard sedan. And 24 inches of moving water will carry away a full-size pickup truck or SUV like it is made of cardboard. That is why we say turn around, do not drown. That simple phrase saves lives every single year, and it might save yours or someone you love this week. The Climate Prediction Center has issued an above-normal precipitation outlook for a massive swath of the country, and we are not talking about a little extra rain that makes your lawn mushy for a couple of days. We are talking about a genuine sustained deluge. Here is how this works. The stalling weather pattern creates something that acts almost like an atmospheric river. Think of it as a fire hose of moisture pointed straight from the Gulf of Mexico into the central United States. And that hose does not shut off for 7 to 10 days. One wave of storms rolls through, drops an inch of rain, maybe an inch and a half. The soil starts to absorb it.
But before the ground can handle that first batch of moisture, here comes another wave, another inch. And now the ground is starting to say no thanks. The water has nowhere to go except into the ditches and the creeks and the streams and eventually into the rivers. Then a third wave rolls through, and a fourth, and a fifth, day after day, for the better part of a week and a half. And each wave adds to the problem, because once the soil is fully saturated, which will happen for most of this corridor by about Wednesday or Thursday, every single additional drop of rain goes straight into runoff, straight into the waterways, and the rivers start rising. And once they start rising, they do not stop until the rain stops. And the rain is not going to stop until well into the second week of March. The bullseye for the heaviest rainfall totals sits in a corridor from Topeka, Kansas, eastward through Springfield, Illinois. 2 to 5 inches of rain across this zone. Some localized spots where multiple thunderstorm cells train over the same location could see totals approaching 6 or even 7 inches. That is more than half a foot of rain in less than 10 days. In any location, that amount of rain in that time frame causes flooding, period. There is no soil type, no drainage system, no amount of preparation that can fully handle that kind of sustained rainfall without some water going where it should not go. The period from March 7th through March 10th is when the heaviest concentrated rain falls. That is when the real flood risk ramps up. Multiple rounds of storms training over the same areas for 48 to 72 hours straight. If any single area gets 4 inches of rain in less than 2 days during that window, you are going to have serious problems. And I think multiple areas along this corridor will hit that threshold. So here is what I need you to do if you live anywhere in the flood threat zone. And I am going to list the cities in a moment. First, know whether you live in a flood zone. Your local emergency management office has maps. FEMA has maps online. If you live near a creek, a river, a stream, or in a low-lying area, you need to know your flood risk before the rain starts. Not during, before. Second, if you get a flash flood warning on your phone, take it seriously. Get to higher ground immediately. Do not wait to see if the water is actually rising. By the time you can see it, it may be too late. Third, never, and I mean never, drive into standing water on a road. You cannot tell how deep it is. You cannot tell how fast it is moving underneath the surface. And you cannot tell if the road underneath has been washed away. More people die in their cars during flash floods than anywhere else. Just turn around. Find another route. It is not worth your life. Now let me walk you through the specific rainfall totals for the cities in this flood corridor. Topeka, Kansas, 3 to 4 inches total, flash flooding likely. Kansas City, Missouri, 3 to 5 inches. The Missouri River system is going to be on high alert. Springfield, Missouri, 2 to 4 inches. Ozark terrain funnels water fast. Creek levels will spike. Columbia, Missouri, 3 to 4 inches. Jefferson City, Missouri, 3 to 4 inches. Watch the Missouri River, St. Louis. Between the snow Monday and the rain that follows later in the week, you could see the equivalent of 3 to 4 inches of liquid. Urban flooding is a real concern. Springfield, Illinois, 2 to 3 inches. Peoria, Illinois, 2 to 3 inches. The Illinois River will be running high. Chicago, 1 to 2 inches. Not extreme by itself, but ground is still saturated from earlier precipitation. Ponding issues on the expressways. Indianapolis, 2 to 3 inches. Flash flood risk midweek. Columbus, Ohio, 2 to 3 inches. The Scioto River is worth monitoring. Dayton, Ohio, 2 to 3 inches. Low areas near the Great Miami River be alert. Cincinnati, 2 to 3 inches on top of whatever ice and snow melts early in the week. Cleveland, 1 to 2 inches. Detroit, 1 to 2 inches. Memphis, 2 to 3 inches. Ground is already saturated. Additional rain runs off fast. Little Rock, Arkansas, 2 to 4 inches. Flash flooding is a genuine threat. The terrain does not absorb water once saturated. Jackson, Mississippi, 2 to 3 inches. Shreveport, Louisiana, 2 to 3 inches. Red River monitoring is important. New Orleans, 2 to 3 inches. Dallas, 2 to 3 inches. Combined with the severe weather, a rough stretch for North Texas. Oklahoma City, 2 to 3 inches. The Canadian River needs watching. Tulsa, 2 to 3 inches. Baton Rouge, 1 to 2 inches. Mobile, Alabama, 2 to 3 inches. Close to the Gulf moisture. Birmingham, Alabama, 1 to 2 inches with thunderstorms. Atlanta, Georgia, 1 to 2 inches. Mostly rain, some thunder. Charlotte, North Carolina, 1 to 2 inches. On and off rain Monday through Wednesday. Raleigh, North Carolina, 1 to 2 inches. Washington, District of Columbia, rain Monday into Tuesday.
1 to 2 inches, maybe a brief snow shower Monday morning, Philadelphia. Light snow possible Monday, maybe an inch. Then rain, 1 to 2 inches. Baltimore, similar to D.C. Brief snow chance Monday, then rain. Richmond, Virginia, mostly rain, 1 to 2 inches. Norfolk, Virginia, rain heavy at times, 1 to 2 inches. Knoxville, Tennessee, rain and thunder midweek, 2 to 3 inches. Flash flooding possible in the Smoky Mountain foothills. Chattanooga, Tennessee, 1 to 2 inches. Montgomery, Alabama, rain and storms, 1 to 2 inches. Evansville, Indiana, mix of precipitation types, early week, then rain, 2 to 3 inches total. Lexington, Kentucky, mix of snow and rain Monday, then rain through the week. Paducah, Kentucky, snow early, rain later, 2 to 3 inches liquid equivalent. Denver, Colorado, watching for some snow early next week. 2 to 4 inches possible as energy crosses the Rockies. Salt Lake City, Utah, mountain snow. Valley stays mostly dry. Boise, Idaho, mixed precipitation possible midweek. Rapid City, South Dakota, snow Saturday, 2 to 4 inches, cold behind it. Billings, Montana, after yesterday's insane winds, you get a break. Cold, but calmer. Now I want to tell you something important about the bigger picture, because this is not just one storm, it is a pattern. The European ensemble models show this active weather regime persisting through at least the middle of March, wave after wave of energy diving off the Rockies and slamming into warm, moist air from the Gulf. And the temperature story adds another layer of complexity. Right now, this weekend, it is winter across the northern half of the country. Single digits in the Dakotas, teens in Minnesota. But by Wednesday, warm air surges back. Temperatures 15 to 20 degrees above normal across the southern plains and Ohio Valley. Dew points climbing into the 60s. That is May weather in March. And that humidity is rocket fuel for thunderstorms. You go from snow on Monday to potential tornadoes by Wednesday. Snow to tornadoes in 48 hours. That is March for you. That is America's atmosphere in the early spring. And that warm spell does not leave quickly. The ensembles keep above normal temperatures through the first half of March across most of the eastern two-thirds of the country. Pollen is coming early. Thunderstorms are coming early. Severe weather season is getting an early start. Now let me talk about something that a lot of people are not thinking about yet, but they should be. Pollen and allergies. I know. We are talking about snowstorms and tornadoes, and you are wondering why I am bringing up pollen. Here is why. That warm surge midweek is going to push temperatures into the upper 60s and even low 70s across the deep south and the southern plains. We are talking about Atlanta hitting 68 degrees by Wednesday, Dallas in the low 70s, Memphis around 65. And when you get that kind of warmth in early March with moisture in the air, the trees start releasing pollen like they got a memo that spring arrived early. So if you are an allergy sufferer in the southern half of the country, heads up, your sinuses are about to have a very bad week, especially after the rain stops and the sun comes back out. That is when the pollen counts explode. Now, let me also address something I have been getting a lot of questions about. People want to know, is this normal? Is this kind of weather pattern unusual for early March? And the honest answer is, kind of. The individual pieces are not that unusual by themselves. Snow in the upper Midwest in early March? That happens. Severe storms in Texas in March? That is part of the deal when you live there. Heavy rain in the Ohio Valley? Sure. What is unusual is all of it happening in the same 7 to 10 day window with this level of intensity. The temperature swings are extreme, going from single digits in Minneapolis on Saturday to possible severe weather and 60s in the same general region by Thursday. That is a 40 to 50 degree temperature swing in less than a week. And that kind of atmospheric whiplash is what creates the most dangerous weather. The atmosphere does not like being out of balance, and when you force that much warm air against that much cold air that quickly, it fights back. Hard. And that fight produces tornadoes, derechoes, ice storms, and flooding. So each piece of this puzzle is not unprecedented on its own. But the combination, the timing, and the persistence is what makes the first 2 weeks of March stand out. Let me also give you some practical preparation tips, because knowing the forecast is only half the battle. You need to know what to do with that information. For those of you in the snow zone this weekend, if you have not already, get your snow shovel and ice melt ready tonight.
If you are in Minneapolis, Madison, Rochester, or anywhere in the Clipper Path, do not wait until Saturday morning. Make sure your car has at least half a tank of gas. If you lose power, your car can be a warm shelter. And keep a blanket, water, and phone charger in your vehicle for the ice zone next week. West Virginia, Virginia, Pennsylvania, parts of Kentucky. Freezing rain is the most dangerous winter weather type. Period. It makes driving nearly impossible. It brings down power lines. Charge every device you own before Monday night. Fill your bathtub with water in case you lose pressure during a power outage. Have a plan for where you would go if power is out more than 24 hours for the severe weather zone. Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi. Make sure everyone in your household knows the safe spot. Interior room, lowest floor, away from windows. If you live in a mobile home, identify a nearby sturdy structure. Mobile homes are not safe in a tornado, no matter how well anchored. Have your weather radio charged. And for the flooding zone, know your flood risk before the rain starts. Never drive through standing water. 6 inches of moving water knocks you off your feet. 12 inches floats a car. 24 inches carries away trucks and SUVs. Turn around, do not drown. That phrase saves lives every year. Let me also cover a few more cities I know people are watching from. San Diego, California, you are fine. Enjoy the sunshine. Sacramento, dry and calm. Portland, Oregon, some light rain early next week. Nothing unusual. Seattle, Washington, same as Portland. A little rain, maybe some mountain snow in the Cascades. Business as usual. Las Vegas, dry and breezy midweek. Gusts to 30 or 40 miles per hour. Keep patio furniture secured. Phoenix, clear skies, warming up. Tucson, same. Nice week for the desert Southwest. Albuquerque, New Mexico. Windy midweek, some blowing dust possible. El Paso, Texas. Windy Wednesday. Gusts to 50 miles per hour, but the severe weather stays east of you. Midland and Odessa, Texas. Wednesday afternoon. Gusty winds. Could see some storms, especially to your east. Wichita Falls, Texas. Wednesday evening into the night. You are in the severe weather corridor. Take it seriously. Lawton, Oklahoma. Wednesday evening. Right in the path. Joplin, Missouri. By Thursday, heavy rain and storms push into your area. 2 to 3 inches of rain. Fayetteville, Arkansas. Thursday into Friday. Heavy rain and thunderstorms. Flash flooding is a real concern in the hill country. Fort Smith, Arkansas. Same timing. Heavy rain and storms. Jackson, Tennessee. Rain and storms from Wednesday onward, 2 to 3 inches. Bowling Green, Kentucky. Mix of precipitation, Monday, then rain, 1 to 2 inches liquid total. Clarksville, Tennessee, north of Nashville. You might see a little ice Monday morning. Huntsville, Alabama. Rain and storms midweek, 1 to 2 inches. Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Rain and thunder, 1 to 2 inches. Savannah, Georgia. Rain midweek, 1 to 2 inches. Jacksonville, Florida. Showers Tuesday and Wednesday. Normal for early March. Charleston, South Carolina. Rain Tuesday into Wednesday. 1 to 2 inches. Greenville, South Carolina. Rain Monday and Tuesday. Mountain areas could see a brief sleet mix Monday morning. Asheville, North Carolina. This one is interesting. Your elevation puts you in that tricky zone where you could see snow, sleet, and freezing rain Monday. 1 to 3 inches of snow possible before transitioning to ice then rain. Pay close attention to your Monday morning forecast. Wilmington, North Carolina. Rain, 1 to 2 inches. Virginia Beach, Virginia. Rain Tuesday. Wind could be an issue along the coast. Salisbury, Maryland. Rain with a possible brief wintry mix Tuesday morning. Wilmington, Delaware. Rain, 1 to 2 inches. Trenton, New Jersey. Rain, possibly starting as wet snow Tuesday morning. Allentown, Pennsylvania. 2 to 3 inches of snow Tuesday before a changeover. Reading, Pennsylvania. Similar. Snow first, then rain. Binghamton, New York. 3 to 5 inches of snow Tuesday into Wednesday. Utica, New York, 4 to 6 inches. Plattsburgh, New York, near the Canadian border, 4 to 6 inches. Stays cold enough to keep it frozen. Worcester, Massachusetts, 3 to 5 inches Tuesday. Higher elevation keeps the snow. Springfield, Massachusetts, 2 to 4 inches before changing to rain. Waterbury, Connecticut, 2 to 3 inches, then rain. New Haven, Connecticut, 1 to 2 inches of snow, then rain. Bridgeport, Connecticut, mostly rain, maybe brief wet snow. Concord, New Hampshire, 2 to 3 inches Saturday from the Clipper, then another 4 to 6 from the bigger system Tuesday, close to 8 inches total over 5 days. Rapid City, South Dakota, snow Saturday, 2 to 4 inches, cold behind it. Denver, Colorado, some snow early next week, 2 to 4 inches, not extreme, but notable. Billings, Montana. After yesterday's insane 102-mile-per-hour winds, you finally get a break. Cold but calmer. One more thing before I go. For those of you in the northern states, there is a little bonus Saturday night. A G1 minor geomagnetic storm is expected. The northern lights could be visible across the northern tier. Montana, North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Washington State, Oregon, Idaho. If you have clear skies Saturday night, go outside after 9 p.m. Get away from the city lights. Give your eyes 20 to 30 minutes to adjust. Look north. It is not going to be a massive show. G1 is the mildest category, but if conditions line up, you might catch a faint green glow along the northern horizon. And after the week of weather this country is about to go through, a quiet moment under the stars might be exactly what the doctor ordered. All right, let me bring this together. This weekend, the Dakotas, Minnesota, and Wisconsin get snow from a fast-moving clipper, 2 to 6 inches. South Florida gets severe thunderstorms Saturday afternoon with damaging winds and heavy rain. The Northeast gets a quick snowburst Saturday night, 1 to 3 inches. Sunday into Monday, a new storm brings rain transitioning to snow and ice across Missouri, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio. St. Louis could see 4 to 6 inches of snow. Louisville and Cincinnati deal with a messy mix. The Appalachians face freezing rain. Monday through Wednesday, storm energy regroups along the East Coast. New England gets another round. The interior Northeast could see half a foot, heavy rain from New York to Cleveland to Chicago. Wednesday through the following week, severe weather erupts in Texas and Oklahoma. Large hail, damaging winds, possible tornadoes, nighttime storms are the biggest concern, and flooding becomes the dominant story as 2 to 5 inches of rain falls from Kansas to Ohio. Now, I need you to do something for me, and I am serious about this. Drop a comment right now and tell me where you are watching from. Tell me your city and your state, because I am going to be doing updates every single day over the next week, targeting the regions that are getting hit hardest. And if I know where my audience is, I can make sure your area gets the coverage it deserves. If you are in Texas, write Texas in the comments. If you are in Ohio, say Ohio, Maine, Montana, Mississippi, Florida, California, wherever you are sitting right now watching this, let me know, because here is what I have learned doing this. The comment section becomes the most valuable part of these videos during active weather. People start reporting what they are seeing in real time. Someone in St. Louis says, hey, the snow just started here at 11 p.m. Someone in Louisville says the ice is already coating the power lines. That real-time information from real people on the ground is incredibly valuable. It helps me. It helps everyone watching. We become a community, keeping each other informed and keeping each other safe. So be part of that. Drop your location in the comments. And while you are down there, if this video has been helpful, if you feel like you now know what is coming and when it is coming, hit that like button. That is not me being selfish. That is how more people who need this information actually see it. The algorithm pushes it to more people in the affected areas when you engage with it. So a like, a comment, a share with someone you know who lives in one of these cities. That actually makes a difference. That actually helps someone prepare who might not have seen this otherwise. And one last thing, do not skip the next video. I am serious, because what is setting up for the second week of March has me paying very close attention to the long-range models. There is a signal building in the data for a major upper-level low to break off over the southern United States somewhere around March 10th through the 15th. Now, we are still a long way out from that, so I am not going to go into full detail today. I do not want to get ahead of the data. But I will tell you this, if that feature verifies the way the European ensembles are hinting at right now, we could be looking at a multi-day severe weather event that rivals some of the biggest outbreaks we have seen in recent memory. We are talking about the kind of setup where the Storm Prediction Center could issue moderate or even high risks for multiple days in a row. Again, we are too far out to lock that in. A lot can change in 10 days, but the signal is there. And it is consistent across multiple model runs, which means it deserves to be watched closely, and you deserve to know about it before it becomes a headline. So hit subscribe if you have not already, turn on the bell notifications, because when that next system starts taking shape, when the models start locking in on specifics, I am going to be right here breaking it down for you hour by hour, city by city, just like I did today. And you are going to want to see that before it arrives at your doorstep, not after. Stay safe this weekend. Check your weather alerts, charge your phones and your weather radios. If you have elderly neighbors or family members who might not be plugged into weather information, give them a call tonight. Let them know what is coming. Sometimes a 2-minute phone call is all it takes to keep someone safe. And if you are in any of those 70-plus cities I just walked through, you now know exactly when the weather is coming, what type of weather to expect, how bad it could be, and most importantly, when it ends. That is not meant to scare you, not even a little bit. It is meant to prepare you. And there is a world of difference between being scared and being prepared. Scared means you do not know what is coming. Prepared means you do, and now you do. I will see you in the next one. Something big is already showing up on the models for next week, and I genuinely cannot wait to break it down for you. We are going to get through this active stretch together. Take care of yourselves out there and take care of each other, because at the end of the day, that is what this is all about. It is not about the numbers on the models. It is not about the maps and the graphics. It is about people. Real people in real cities making real decisions about their safety and the safety of their families. And if this video helps even one person avoid a flooded road or take shelter before a tornado or give their elderly neighbor a heads up about the ice coming Monday morning, then every minute I spent putting this together was worth it. So share this. Send it to someone you care about who lives in one of these cities, and I will be back with the next update as soon as the models give me something new to talk about, and trust me, they will. This pattern is far from over. 104 degrees at the Texas border in February. Let that sink in for a second, because what just happened in the last 24 hours across the United States is not normal, not even close. And what is about to happen over the next 7 to 10 days, it is going to be even more intense, even more widespread, even more dangerous for certain parts of this country. We are tracking a train of storms aimed directly at the heart of the United States. Snow, ice, severe thunderstorms, flooding. And yes, even the possibility of tornadoes. More than 70 cities are in the crosshairs right now, and I'm going to walk you through every single one of them, city by city, state by state, when the storms hit your area, when they peak at their most dangerous, and when they finally move out so you can breathe again. But here is the thing. If you are watching this from anywhere between Dallas and Detroit, between St. Louis and Boston, between Oklahoma City and Cleveland, you need to hear what I am about to tell you in the next 30 seconds, because the pattern shift that is setting up right now is not a quick hit. This is going to affect your daily life starting this weekend, your commute, your plans, your safety, and by Wednesday of next week, we could be looking at one of the most active severe weather outbreaks we have seen since last spring. I am not saying that to scare you. I am saying that because it is what the data is showing right now. Now, I am going to give you the full breakdown city by city, every timeline, every number you need. But first, stay with me until the 5-minute mark, because that is where I am going to reveal the exact corridor that the Storm Prediction Center is already flagging for the most dangerous weather next week. And I promise you, the cities on that list are going to surprise a lot of people. Some of those cities have not seen severe weather in months. They are not thinking about it. They are not prepared for it. And that is exactly why I need to get this information out right now. So let me take you back to what just happened, because understanding yesterday helps you understand what is coming tomorrow. Yesterday was absolute atmospheric chaos. Records that stood for decades just got shattered. In South Texas, near the border, thermometers hit 104 degrees Fahrenheit in February. Think about that. That is hotter than most July afternoons in Chicago. That is hotter than the average summer day in New York City. And it happened in the second month of the year. Meanwhile, at the exact same time up in Montana, wind gusts hit 102 miles per hour. No thunderstorm behind it, no tropical system driving it. Just raw, violent wind screaming across the plains like a Category 2 hurricane, 102 miles per hour without a single drop of rain. And here is what nobody tells you about that wind. 102 miles per hour is strong enough to peel the roof off a house. It is strong enough to flip a loaded semi-truck on its side like a toy. It is strong enough to turn a sheet of plywood into a deadly projectile flying through the air at highway speeds. And it happened without any of the usual warnings that most people associate with dangerous weather. No tornado siren going off, no hurricane watch on the screen, no dramatic radar image to show people, just wind, invisible, powerful, and absolutely terrifying if you were caught out in it.
people in Montana, no wind. They are used to it. But 102 miles per hour? That is a completely different animal. That is the kind of wind that makes you question whether your house is going to stay standing. And while all of that was happening, down in Alabama, a confirmed tornado touched down near Trussville. So let me paint this picture for you. You have got 104-degree heat in the south, hurricane-force winds in the north, and a tornado in between, all on the same day, all in February. The atmosphere is not just active right now, it is completely unhinged. And the energy from all of that chaos, it did not just vanish. That system is now sliding off the East Coast, but it is leaving behind enough atmospheric fuel to load the gun for what comes next. And what comes next is a 7 to 10 day stretch that is going to keep every single meteorologist in this country glued to their screens. So let us start with what is happening right now. As you are watching this, a cold front is sliding down from Canada. And behind it, there is a block of Arctic air that has already dropped temperatures by 40 degrees Fahrenheit in Western Canada over the past 24 hours. 40 degrees in a single day. That cold air is now pouring into the northern United States. And at the same time, warm, humid air is surging northward from the Gulf of Mexico. Now, when you take extremely cold air from Canada and extremely warm air from the Gulf and you smash them together over the middle of the country, what do you get? You get chaos. You get snow in one city and severe thunderstorms 200 miles away. You get ice storms in the mountains and flooding in the valleys. You get the kind of week that makes March feel like it has a personality disorder. And that is exactly what we are looking at. This is the clash of air masses, cold versus warm, winter versus spring. And the battleground is going to stretch from the Dakotas to the Gulf Coast, from the Rockies to the Atlantic. So let me walk you through this day by day, city by city, starting with the very first event, Saturday morning. There is a sneaky snow band forming right now across the northern plains. And I call it sneaky because this thing is going to look like nothing on radar. It is going to be a narrow little ribbon of snow racing across the upper Midwest. But do not be fooled by its size. These narrow snow bands are the ones that catch people completely off guard. You check the forecast, it says 2 to 3 inches.